Welcome to the Gavel. I'm Terry Ikumi. Now here's some information before we commence the show regarding the National Assembly. Once again, plenary resumption has been shifted by a week. The clerk of the National Assembly, who issued a statement in that regard, says it is to ensure that both houses resume in their newly renovated chambers. Now on the Gavel this week, our focus is on the constitutional amendment process of the 10th National Assembly and controversies surrounding a bill to include presiding officers of the National Assembly in the National Security Council, which was transmitted to President Muhammadu Buhari in the last week of his time in office. It's now been gazetted, even though it wasn't signed by the former president, and there's no public information of it being signed by President Tinubu. So here's my interview with Honorable Sada Soli, who is a member of the Constitution Review Committee of the House of Representatives, and former House member Honorable Dachung Bagos.
The concern for the cost is legitimate for Nigerians to express their views. But then, if you look at the processes, we conduct public hearings on all the 6 geopolitical zones, look at the arrangement, look at the operational aspects of it. There are a lot of incidentals, there are a lot of expenses. You have to house, you have to accommodate the members, you have to accommodate your resource persons. I mean, it's a whole lot of, and then yes, 1 billion is much money, but if you look at what we're doing for about 2 years consecutively, virtually every week the committee will meet with every member from every state is represented, resource persons, big senior lawyers, very senior constitutional lawyers are invited, and you have to give them honorarium, you have to accommodate them. It's a huge lot of things, but I can assure Nigerians there is no wastage in terms of constitutional amendment. And then the process is the Constitution that determines the process, how we can alter the Constitution. So it's not our own making.
Former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Obong Victor Attah, had rolled out some reasons why he believes that we need a new constitution. He said that this constitution is more or less a military decree. He's called it one with a flawed origin, and he thinks that it's a constitution that is more favorable to the political elite. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, agreeing with what our ranking colleague said, basically, in what Nigerians should be so much concerned about now is value for money.
So I really want to take you up on what Obong Victor Attah said regarding this new constitution, because he referenced the national confab and the national dialogue, I beg your pardon, and he talked about this constitution fostering a politics of alienation, says it lacks legitimacy. This is a former governor of Akwa Ibom State.
Let me help you with this. Then let me educate Nigerians with due respect to His Excellency Victor Attah, the former governor of Akwa Ibom State. I could vividly remember he was a delegate to the Constitutional Conference that authored the 1999 Constitution from Akwa Ibom. He was the first on the list. A Tebet was there, and quite a number of prominent people from Akwa Ibom were on that. And then, secondly, he's a beneficiary of 1999 Constitution, which he was part of. He served as a governor with the same constitution for 8 good years, and he did very well in Akwa Ibom State. He set the pace for Akwa Ibom development. And today, he's the one campaigning against the same constitution that he has benefited from. What is wrong with that constitution? What is wrong with the constitution is what is wrong with the statements of people like Victor Attah. There are 436 Nigerians that came to produce the 1999 Constitution. 439. It was chaired by a justice of the Supreme Court, Karibu White, deputized by Justice Muhammad Nasser, and then the commission that did the procedure for the standing order for them to do that, that was Justice Kawu and Joseph Wayas. Remember, and then Nikki Toby reviewed the Constitution after that. The American Constitution was authored by 55 members and 36 of them signed. Out of those 55, about 15 or 16 of them are generals. They are military people, but still they are working with it because the people, American people, decided to obey the provisions of the Constitution and be disciplined. Here in this country, you can see what is happening. People arrogantly will jettison the position of the Constitution and do what they want.
Yeah, so that's a leadership problem, a political leadership problem.
I can't say political leadership. I do not want to say political leadership alone. It involves everybody.
When we talk about amendments, and I know that former National Assembly leaders were not happy that of the 35 bills that were sent to President Buhari, he signed 16. Of the 19 bills that were not signed by the president, because you put in work, and it cost $1 billion to put that together. And from your standpoint, you knew what you were doing.
There are some bills that the president, either president, usually don't assent on bills that on legal matters. Not that he doesn't want the bill to, he doesn't want to assent to the bill.
But he's advised against it.
There are bills, even the Electoral Act that was sent back to the House on typographical error. So there are some certain reasons that some bills are being sent back into the House, because there are bills that were sent back to the House. We reworked on the bill, took it back to the president, and he assented because of
and
that.
he rejected some of
them. Yeah. So these are issues. But again, in doing most of this, we need to have a tripartite understanding.
How closely did you work with the Office of the Attorney General?
Well, we always notify them if there is a public hearing. If there are other things, we always notify them. And then I believe they should have a liaison officer within the National Assembly complex that can interface with these constitutional amendment committees of both chambers. I strongly believe there is that working relationship. But however, you know that because of the workings and the dynamics and then the issues that usually come up within the parliament, sometimes we may overlook talking to them or some other things because of the exigencies that really exist within the National Assembly.
Let's go into some of the bills now. I know that the president rejected the bill to include, he did not assent to the bill to include former presiding officers in the Council of State. He did not assent to the bill on State Council either. And I also know that there's another bill to include presiding officers of the National Assembly. That's the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House and the National Security Council.
Yes.
That bill is generating some reactions. And the reason is it's not entirely clear or public knowledge as to if that bill has been signed or not. What we do know is that it's been gazetted. So let me ask you as lawmakers, I'd like to think you would know. Would the president's signature appear on a bill that's been gazetted?
All bills before they go for first reading must be gazetted. That's the procedure.
At the National Assembly level, no doubt. I'm talking about
that is what you call enrollment. When the president signs, the bill is enrolled. Then the government printer, federal government printer, gazette it. You understand? That is just normal, it's just a procedure, but that is not a demand in making that as a law. But the procedure is the assent of the president. Then they enroll it for record purposes. That I know. On the bill that you're talking about, yes, this is among the 3 bills that were sent to President Buhari in the twilight of the administration. That bill that you're talking about for the inclusion of the Senate President and the Speaker on the Council of the National Security Council, and then there was the bill on regularization of retirement age of the judiciary, which recently, which I think President Bola Tinubu signed. I could remember he signed it. Remember, we transmitted it to Buhari, he couldn't sign, and then Bola Tinubu signed it. So
you know they were transmitted at different times, right? The last 2 bills that were transmitted to the president were the one on independent candidacy.
Yes.
And then They want to allow presiding officers of the National Assembly into the National Security Council. What happened to those bills?
I think that bill of the National Security Council membership got the 2/3 of members. I could remember we passed it, I think, in March, both two chambers. It has gotten the 24 ratification of the states, and what remains is the clerk to transmit it. And I think that transmission was made. What I need you to understand is not really necessary for us. Once bills are transmitted to the president, so long as they are not back into the chamber, we assume that they have been assented to. Those that have been assented to, if we have the opportunity of communication, we can understand that they have been assented to.
I'd like us to really sit on this bill for a bit because, like I said, there's no record of the president signing.
Which one?
We knew when the President Tinubu signed the bill to regularize the retirement ages of judicial officers. We don't know what happened to this bill, but it's been gazetted. And it does have...
I don't understand what you're talking about gazetting.
I'm sure I will show you. When it's been gazetted. Here it says that this bill, on the 9th day of June 2023, it has the name of the clerk. 12th day of June 2023, it has Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And here it says, I assent. So that's why I asked if it must take the signature of the president. And then most importantly, we know that a bill will not be gazetted in the official Gazette of the Federal Republic of Nigeria until it's been signed.
No.
That's not true, Honorable Sol. Did you agree?
Let me hear from Honorable. All bills must be gazetted.
Just a second. Let me hear from Honorable Bagos.
Well, all the procedures in putting up the bill, for what I know, is that at least in transmitting, you cannot transmit a bill to the president without a signature, because if you just transmit a bill to the president without a signature, that's who is now sending. So the bill usually come back with the signature of the president. But then in gazetting, and indeed, that is for the communication within the House.
A law is not gazetted by the official Gazette of the Federal Republic of Nigeria contains laws, right? Not bills. Right. Not bills. Right. So anything in the official Gazette is a law.
Okay,
just 1 second. Do you agree? Do you agree? Do you agree with
I understand the gazetting that you are talking about. Yes. When laws are signed, are cleaned
they get gazetted.
They are gazetted. They become official records of the Federal Republic.
Which is what we have here.
What do you have?
This is an official Gazette saying,
of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Saying this bill has been gazetted. Here's the conclusion.
Well, as long as
you could share this with Honorable Bagos.
Let me be honest with you and let me help you. Yes. As long as this bill is communicated to the president and then is gazetted, and then is communicated back to the clerk, to the National Assembly that it was assented to, I think it stands to be assented.
It says it was passed, the House of Representatives passed it on 8th of March.
You see, these are,
just a second.
The scrutiny that you are trying to bring.
I just want us to have records because we need to know if there's a problem with this bill.
Okay, let me help you.
No, before you help me.
You want me to help you?
Before you help me, 1 second. It says there,
right,
8th of March, it was passed by the House of Representatives, 2023.
Right.
Here is, I think, the votes and proceedings of the House of Representatives, 1st of March, 2022. This is when it says the bill was passed.
Yes.
The official Gazette says 8 March, 2023. The votes and proceedings of the House says 1st of March, 2022.
Well, the fact remains that this bill was passed by the two chambers.
You're not worried about the disparity in the dates?
Hold on, sir. Hold on. There could be this kind of typo and some mix-up like this. These are human, but the law, the content of the law is perfect.
Okay.
And then you cannot deny the fact that the two houses do not pass this bill.
So let me ask you another question.
But what I can assure you, I will confirm these things from the office of the clerk to the National Assembly, the position of this bill, and I will get back to you.
If you share it with Honorable Bagos, because I'd like to ask him a question. Honorable Bagos, as a lawmaker, former lawmaker, yes, you have the experience. Is it possible for the bill number to change?
Yes. The bill number can change. The bill number can change in the circumstances that if you have 10 bills and then one is knocked out, the chances are 9 bills will change. And
at what level? At what level of the amendment?
At the transmission. Let's assuming that we transmitted 68 bills to the state assemblies. 35 came back with 24 assentment. The numbering cannot be same.
Welcome back to the Gavel. Let's return to the interview with Honorable Sada Soli, who was a member of the Constitution Review Committee of the House of Representatives, and former House member Honorable Dachong Bagos on the controversies surrounding a bill to include presiding officers of the National Assembly in the National Security Council. How important is the long title of a bill? At what point does it change? Is it possible to change the long title of a bill when it is passed and when it is gazetted?
What do you mean by long title?
If you look at that bill,
yes,
the long title says, the one you passed, says to alter the third schedule of the Constitution.
Right.
It's not the same long title.
What the title here says?
It says to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic.
Right.
Is that normal?
It's normal.
I'm just asking questions. I'm just,
we're
we're trying to put records straight here.
Yeah, you see, it's just the process. Once you are in the process of bill consideration, and at every process, certain things changes, but the material fact did not change. The material fact in this bill is membership of the National Council of Security.
Okay.
That's it. And then it's an amendment to the third schedule, number K, of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999. That is the material thing. Any other thing is procedure. It goes through so many lawyers with different kind of drafting skills.
And especially when it gets to the Office of Attorney General.
Yes. Yeah. So
do you know if the bill's been signed?
I will confirm that to you from the Office of the Clerk to the National Assembly. But what I know for certain, the House has passed this bill and you have confirmed and you have a copy
Absolutely.
of this.
I'm asking because it's a law now. It's
because
been gazetted.
Because there are so many.
It's clearly been gazetted. So if it's been gazetted, I like to assume that it's been signed.
I will confirm that to you.
But who signed it? Tinubu or Buhari?
You see, I'm just seeing this document from you that it's been signed. But I know.
But we both agree. We both agree that an official gazette,
this bill has been passed.
Honorable Bagos, do we all agree that only laws are gazetted?
Only laws that are gazetted.
So that means since this has now been gazetted, it means it's been signed. So we don't know who signed it, even though it has Tinubu's name. You as lawmakers don't know who signed it.
You know.
Because I know you transmitted it to Buhari.
But you know no one, hold on. There is a tradition, during Erdogan, I could remember he signed bills that were transmitted to Obasanjo. I could vividly remember that. Then also during this administration, just recently, President Tinubu signed bills that were transmitted to Buhari on this regularization of retirement age of judicial officers. So I don't think it is...
and even the student loan started with Buhari?
Yes, started with Buhari.
You know, basically...
It's not a constitution. There's a clear difference between any
it's a bill.
and a constitution amendment bill.
It's a bill.
The reason is a constitutional amendment bill requires 24 states,
right? Which this one met. Met that provision, met that condition.
Transmitted in April.
Right. Whatever it is.
Transmitted in May, actually.
I need to find out all these
document,
dates and other things.
Every document to the president is a bill, but with different title. You can have establishment bill, you can have constitutional amendment bill,
bill.
You can have an act. So everything.
I'm just curious.
When the president now signs, becomes an act, or becomes an amendment in the constitution or any other thing. But again, any document, any bill sent to the president has an expiring date of 30 days. So it doesn't say that... so
if the president changes
it's not talking about Buhari. If Buhari leaves, the life of the bill... No, it has 30 days. And it only exists within this period of that very house. So you know that when President Tinubu came, the 9th Assembly was still in existence till the 10th Assembly now came. So it still happened like that.
Even if we have, you see, the life of a bill expires in the parliament when the parliament time expires, regardless the date. But the life of a bill expires when it goes for assent within 30 days.
I don't know if this is, I think this is something that requires some follow-up, because what I have, and I saw this from the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, because they are the ones, they work closely with National Assembly.
I assure you that I will check this for you.
I would love to know that. And yes, I think Nigerians would love to know that, because the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, in reporting that the bills have been sent to Buhari late, just before the end of his tenure, they said that the end of the president is less than a week away. If these bills are not signed into law, then they have to be presented afresh before the 10th National Assembly before they can go back to the new president.
That's as long as the bill has not met the 30 days on the desk of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, regardless Buhari or Tinubu.
When does an assembly expire?
When the next assembly takes the new oath.
It's important to understand. I'm sure you're really concerned as to the disparity in the date of passage. Not sure which of the presidents signed the bill. But let's quickly wrap this off by going to the issue of the present constitution amendment. What your colleagues want us to go to parliamentary system of government.
It's too late for this country. We're in presidential democracy for 25 years and jettison it after 25 years and bring something new that 100% of the participants, they have no idea about it. It is a huge task of going into an unknown, uncharted, unknown ecosystem. Look at it. It's susceptible to political instability. The bedrock of parliamentary system of government is party discipline, which we lack in our present democracy.
For me, the most important thing is that we're practicing democracy. Number one, democracy is very expensive. And the parliamentary system, if today, after review, and I found out that the parliamentary system is cheaper within the democratic system, I will go for it.
Well, this week on Constituency Focus, we talk to Honorable Dumnamene Deko, representing Kana Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives. We'll find out what his constituents want and what he plans to do for them. Please stay with us.
My constituency, which is Kana, is made up of about 36 wards and close to 200 communities. And these communities are all autonomous. And it's in the heart of Ogoni land, which is one of the largest constituencies we have around. And it's a place that development has not been really much felt, particularly the federal presence. But by the grace of God, in our sojourn in the Green Chambers, we have been able to bring home a few projects. I think one of them of note is the constituency headquarters, which happens to be the senatorial headquarters of the Rivers Southeast Senatorial District. And coincidentally too, the headquarters of the Ogoni people, which is Bori. You can't find land there anymore because of issues of expansion. So we just thought it wise and we're able to make provision in the budget for a road and a very big bridge that takes us from there to a community called Kor. In fact, the road lands between Kor and Kani, which opens into a very large expanse of arable land, and which has made it possible now for the community to, to grow towards that direction. We had a small program which we do annually, for my immediate community, where we're able to get 188 undergraduates and 32 postgraduate students. We're able to give them what we call education grant. For the undergraduates, 50,000. For the postgraduates, 100,000. We have been able to intervene very seriously in the provision of the consumables, books, computers, and all of that, writing desk, all of that, in about 5 major secondary schools in the constituency. Bodo City Girls in Gokana, Community Secondary School Yege in Gokana. We have the Community Secondary School Bori, which is at the headquarters of the constituency. We have in Berry High School in Berry, and CSS Kono, which is a boundary town between Kana local government and Opobo, Nkoro local government. We have facilitated capital through the CBN program. We had to go train our people, prepare them for that program. And I think if you look at it from those who got between 2.8 million and as much as 9.9 million, we also had those who had 500,000. So if you put all of them together, we have been able to drive home, facilitate over 500 million naira into the constituency.
Well, that's all on the Gavel this week. Thanks for your time. I'm Terry Ikumi. Bye-bye.